Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into something super relevant, how a modern freelancer can actually use their digital storefront to champion environmentalism. In today's online economy, we see this constant, exhausting push for more, right? More physical products, more shipping, more packaging, and ultimately way more waste. But what happens when a creator decides to build a business that actively respects the environment? Well, today we are looking at a really fascinating case study, D3zignCave. We're going to explore exactly how this storefront leverages digital products and eco-friendly ebooks to make a very real positive impact on the planet. And they do it without sacrificing their entrepreneurial success.
Right out of the gate, D3zignCave sets the tone. Their bio doesn't just say they are a freelancer, writer, and artist. It tacks on this amazing identifier at the end, a concerned consumer. By labeling themselves this way right from the jump, it's basically a neon sign telling their audience that every single product they create or promote has passed through a strict filter of environmental mindfulness. They aren't just out here pushing inventory. They are actively looking to minimize their footprint and yours too. So here is our roadmap for the explainer. We'll start by meeting the concerned consumer, then check out their eco-friendly children's ebooks, dive into their sustainable digital product line, and finally, look at their mindful creator workspace. Let's get into it. All right, part 1, meeting the concerned consumer and seeing how they centralize their mission. To really grasp their impact, we have to look at their reach. Since jumping onto Linktree back in November 2025, they have built this massive web across basically every platform you can think of: TikTok, Instagram, Threads, YouTube, Blue Sky, Lemonade. They even write on Substack under the really personal banner of Mother, Author, Soul Searcher. But here's the kicker. They aren't just hoarding followers for vanity metrics. They are actively using that massive cross-platform reach to funnel audiences directly toward an intentionally curated, eco-minded storefront. And this naturally brings up a huge question, one that pretty much every modern entrepreneur needs to be asking. How do you run a profitable online retail business without just adding to traditional retail waste? I mean, how do you sell things without filling up landfills with plastic or polluting the air with shipping emissions? Well, that brings us to part 2, their eco-friendly children's ebooks and how they're educating the next generation. This is where we see that environmental mission turn into tangible, real-world action. D3zignCave offers 2 specific titles in what they call their Luna's Eco Adventure series, Luna and the Magic Recycling Bin, and Luna Saves Energy. It is such a smart move because they are tackling the environmental crisis at its absolute roots by promoting eco-literacy to kids. They are helping the environment by teaching the next generation about crucial concepts like recycling and energy conservation, and they do it by wrapping those lessons up in really engaging, magical stories. And get this, they price these Luna ebooks at just $3.99 on Amazon. For less than the cost of a fancy latte, families can access these vital lessons. But honestly, the best part is the digital format. It means there's absolutely zero physical printing waste. Literally no trees were cut down for paper, no chemical inks were used, and absolutely no delivery trucks burned fossil fuels to get these books into a child's hands. It's a 100% clean transaction. Moving right along to part 3, their sustainable digital product line, which is a perfect zero-waste model. Now, they don't just stop at children's books. They apply this exact same earth-friendly philosophy to tools for adults and fellow creators. By heavily prioritizing digital downloads, D3zignCave completely bypasses the massive carbon footprint we usually associate with physical manufacturing and global shipping. The split second a customer clicks buy on a digital product, the environment is completely spared the usual toll of consumerism: instant delivery, zero packaging waste. You might think a zero-waste shop would have kind of a limited catalog, right? But just look at this variety. It's genuinely impressive. They offer gorgeous, gallery-quality digital artwork like their motivational tulip Canva art, where you get 3 files for just $5. Want to print it yourself? They have a guide for that for $1.99. For aspiring creators, they've got a Writing Your First ebook course and a totally free playbook called From Scroll to Sold. It just goes to show that a zero-waste business model can be super diverse. You can offer art, education, and business strategy without producing a single ounce of plastic. I absolutely love this little detail. Included in that digital tulip art is the specific, inspiring phrase, "keep growing." It works on so many levels. It perfectly captures the personal and entrepreneurial growth they're trying to inspire in other creators, while giving a really nice, subtle nod to their pro-environment, nature-focused roots.
Just a brilliant synthesis of their brand. And finally, part 4, a mindful creator workspace, or the wellness edit. Okay, let's be real for a second. Even as a digital creator, you can't just type on an invisible keyboard hovering in thin air. You need a physical desk. You need pens. So how does a concerned consumer handle buying actual physical goods? Well, instead of pushing endless mass consumption or gadget chasing, they offer a highly curated workspace and wellness edit. Look at the intentionality here. They're recommending incredibly specific, purposeful things. A clean, functional $130 Loring wood desk, a really elegant dark sage writing kit, and some colored legal pads. They are basically saying buy only exactly what you need to actually do the work, instead of drowning your space in clutter. They round out this mindful workspace setup with some really aesthetic, organizational, and self-care items. We're talking rose gold felt tip pens, a blush canvas drawer organizer to keep things tidy, and, this is key, a productivity planner paired with a self-care rituals daily planner. It completely hits the nail on the head. If you are going to buy a physical object, it should pull its weight. It needs to support your mental wellness, keep you organized, or help you focus. Conscious consumption at its best. So, what's the big takeaway from all of this? Basically, D3zignCave isn't just trying to sell you stuff. They are modeling a totally new way forward. By going all in on digital delivery, like with those amazing Luna ebooks and Zero Waste digital downloads, and being super strict and conscious about the physical tools they promote, they're proving that commerce and conservation aren't enemies. You really can build a sustainable, earth-friendly income stream. Which leaves us with something pretty important to think about as we wrap up this explainer. As you go out and navigate your own creative projects, as you build your businesses, or even just when you make everyday purchases online, how will you apply that concerned consumer mindset? How will you make sure your digital footprint leaves the physical world just a little bit better than you found it?